Today, I'm teaching you how to make an easy pumpkin pie. I believe baking should be easy and accessible, even for busy moms like me.
I'll give you guys a bite of crust, but you need to keep your fingers out of stuff.
So I'm going to walk you step by step through this simple process. I know that you're going to love this delicious addition to your holiday season. Now, the steps to mix everything together are pretty straightforward. And while I love baking, even I find pumpkin pie to be a little bit intimidating. It can be hard to get the center fully cooked without over-baking the whole thing or burning the crust.
I say it's a terrible nuisance and annoying and hard to do. But you don't want to burn crust, right?
So make sure to hang around to the end because I'll give you 3 tips and tricks on how to know if your pie is set well and not too jiggly in the middle. I'll also have a recipe to screenshot for you. Ideally, you want to start with a homemade pie crust, and I teach you how to make one in 3 minutes in a previous video. Okay, let's dive in. Your ingredients are sugar, pumpkin pie spice, salt, eggs, evaporated milk, and pumpkin puree. I've made pumpkin pie before with actual pumpkins, baking and pureeing it myself, but that was a lot of work. So using pumpkin puree from a can is totally fine here. Just be careful not to cut your finger.
Pro tip. Careful when opening the can.
Step 1. Mix together pumpkin, milk, and eggs. Scoop into your bowl 1 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree. Then pour in 1 12-ounce can of evaporated milk and 2 eggs. Mix all of this together well, making sure that the eggs are fully beaten in. Step 2. Add in your sugar and spices and mix well in a separate bowl. Measure 3/4 cups of sugar and add a ½ teaspoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of pumpkin pie spice, which has cinnamon, ginger, cloves, allspice, and nutmeg in it. Add all of this to the pumpkin mixture. Step 3. Pour into pie crust. Pour your beautiful creamy mixture into the pie crust. Step 4. Bake carefully. Here's a couple of techniques I learned to get the middle fully cooked without burning the crust.
Here's why pumpkin pie is intimidating. It is hard to get it baked all the way through in the middle without burning the crust. So we'll see. We can test it out and try out together. Does this actually work? Does it help us figure out when our pie is done?
The first is to cover the crust with foil. It's not easy, but does protect those edges from over-baking.
I hate this.
Give me that, film me.
Don't squish
Wait,
the
that's
crust.
the bad side of my hair. Give me.
You have to gently cover it without squishing the crust.
Oh, I'm doing it gently.
I don't know how to turn the camera off. Is there a button to push?
No, there's no buttons. It's a Tesla.
It's like building a space station. Oh, and it goes off.
Dude, nailed that.
The second is to bake it at 2 different temperatures. First, you bake it at 425 for 15 minutes. This helps it all get initially set up. Then bake it for the remaining time at 350 degrees for around 40 to 50 minutes. And here's 3 helpful tips on how to tell if your pumpkin pie is set.
The first one is, I learned that there's an old saying that you want the center of your pie to jiggle like jello, not wiggle like a wave. Second, you want to pay attention to the change in color. After about an hour of baking, it should be 1 to 2 shades darker than when you started. You can take a picture and that will help you compare. Third, use a toothpick to check the center. It should come out mostly clean. Looks mostly clean. I think I'm gonna call it. That was exactly 1 hour. Growing up, I never really liked pumpkin pie. Don't worry, that's changed now. But it wasn't until I was engaged and I learned that my now husband really loved pumpkin pie that I ever tried baking it for the first time. So, with very little experience of baking pumpkin pie over the years, I was not sure about making this pumpkin pie. I hate making pumpkin
I'll do
pie.
this part.
But with these tips and tricks, I really am pleased with how it turned out. As promised, here's the screenshot of the recipe.
Oh, and do we need to say step 5? Devour and enjoy. Next up, I'll be sharing a pastry chef's ridiculously easy puff pastry recipe. And believe me, if you're pulling this out at family gatherings, everyone will be so impressed. Thanks for watching. I hope you are encouraged and excited to try out this easy pumpkin pie. So don't be afraid to try baking something new, and go have some fun in the kitchen, and I will see you next time.
That's it.